What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cat Life here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and today we are going to be playing some Prank Kids. Now I know it's been a while since I brought them back, but oh man, I just forgot how fun this deck is. This deck is so good, to be honest with you guys. I don't know why people sleep on Prank Kids. And I remember when I was building this deck, I initially only started building it because I was going for other cards and I just kept pulling more and more Prank Kids. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and actually build this deck and learn what it does. And once I did, I fell in love with this deck. But anyways guys, if you are new to the channel, do not forget to go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, because you're helping the boy grow and I'm helping you with the content by putting more and more decks out there for you guys to go ahead and view and watch and see if you want to build it without even having to build it, you know. But anyways, this is what we are playing. I went ahead and changed up a few things from my original Prank Kids deck, and honestly, it's been working really well in Diamond rank, so that's really nice to see. Now, I will say that some cards you do not need, and I will go ahead and tell you which ones those are at the end of the deck showcase. So basically, we are playing Psy-Frame Driver, 3 Prank Kids Fansies, 2 Maxx Cs, 2 Psy-Frame Gammas, 3 Dropsies, 2 Ash Blossoms, 3 Lampsies, a Destiny Hero Celestial, and 2 Prank Kid Rocksies. And then we are also playing Nemesis Corridor, Destiny Hero Dasher, and finally Nibiru the Primal Being. Now for our spells, we are playing Raigeki, Monster Reborn, Teraforming, Thunder Dragon Fusion, Fusion Destiny, 3 Prank Kids Places, 2 Prank Kid Pranks, 2 Called by the Grave, and then finally 2 Prank Kids Pandemoniums. Now we are playing Infinite Impermanence, and then finally 2 Skill Drains. Now for our extra deck, we are playing 1 Prank Kids Rocket Ride, 1 Prank Kids Weather Washer, 1 Thunder Dragon Colossus, 1 DPE, 2 Prank Kids Battle Butler, 1 Warlord Savage Dragon, Prank Kids, 2 Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo, and then 2 Prank Kids Dodo Doodle Do, and then finally 2 Prank Kids Bow Wow Bark. And then for our last 2 cards, it's Predator Planet Verte Anaconda and Access Code Talker. You know, just a bread and butter, you know, link monsters. Now, as far as the cards that I would say that you do not need, is one is especially going to be Board Lord Savage Dragon, and the second one would definitely be the Psy-Frames. You do not need those cards. Now, the reason I am playing it is, let's say for instance, I go ahead and I try to activate our Prank Kids place to go ahead and grab ourselves a card from our deck, and I have no monsters on the field. Then I could go ahead and play the Psy-Frame, and that way we could go ahead and negate it. And because it's still our turn, I can then go and basically synchro into this, the Boardless Savage Dragon. So that's why I do play that. So that's the only reason, to be honest. Another thing that you could do instead of playing those, you could go ahead and play your Prank Kids Rip Roaring. I decided to go ahead and take it out because I wanted to play Warlord instead, but originally I was playing this, but I decided to go ahead and change it. If you wanted to not play Rip Roaring, then you could also go ahead and play 3 Meow Meows, but it's completely up to you. I think 2 is at a really good spot, especially because Prank Kids Pranks can go ahead and put your cards back in the graveyard. And then if it's also banished, guys, Nemesis Corridor. Oh my gosh, this card is so good. Nemesis Corridor will also go ahead and put this card back in your deck, and then you could go ahead and get off a free Thunder Dragon Colossus just because of that, right? So that is super good. Another thing you could play, if you have 3 skill drains, you could go ahead and play 3 skill drains. I opted to go ahead and cut it down to 2 now because I am playing Infinite Impermanence, and I wanted to be able to activate some of my effects, or just be able to have Thunder Dragon Colossus effects still on the field, right? Another thing that you could also do, if I'm being honest with you, right, is you could go ahead and put Harpy's Feather Duster in the deck as well. That would really help with getting rid of back row. If you wanted to stop the possibilities of a Nibiru from happening because you do summon a lot, you can play Cross Out as well. So you do have some options on what you can do, but it is completely up to you. Like I said, what I like to play and what I was playing was the Psy-Frame Gamma. So let me go ahead and add that back so you guys can just go ahead and see again. So this is what I did like to play. And then yeah, I just personally think that this deck is really good. I have no problem with this deck, to be honest with you. I don't know why, guys. I thought I dismantled my card, and then I noticed just now that it's because I have the I have like the rarity version of it. But I was like, oh my god, did I just dismantle my card by accident? But anyways, yes, this is the deck that we are playing. I hope you guys enjoy the deck profile. Cal Life is signing out. See ya. All right, so we are going first, and honestly, I'm just gonna go activate Prank Kid's Place, and we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves a Fansies onto the field. We're gonna go into the Meow Meow Moo, which is going to be super cool because now we can go ahead and toss ourselves a Pandemonium into the grave. They are going to activate the power of Maxx C, right? So unfortunately, can't do anything about that. I do get the Pandemonium in the grave, and we're gonna just go ahead and activate the summon out the Dropsies, and we're gonna end our turn, as I do not want to give them any more draw power. And so I see that we're playing against Sky Strikers, and honestly I was correct to not give them drop. What the heck? That's right, they were playing Numerons with Sky Strikers. This threw me off so much. I was so confused about what was going on. So they were looking to OTKB, they crashed into the Dropsies to go ahead and get the boost. Then they go ahead and kill that right there. And now we're just left with our poor Meow Meow Moo, which hits the graveyard. But guess what? The Psy-Frame Gamma comes clutch. It saves the day to stop from the OTK, as we're able to go ahead and activate its effect and destroy his Numeron gate card. And then from there, they're going to actually now get rid of the field spell for Numeron network and use the airspace, activate the power to go ahead and get rid of one card, which happens to bring them the multi-row. So now they did get rid of the Sky Striker Mecha Hornet drones, which was a little weird because I think that card is so good. But this is what they ended on. I guess they really wanted that OTK. Nibiru, you could have been here last time, man. I'm just saying, last turn would have been great. But anyways, it is our turn. We get ourselves a Lampsies and now activate Lampsies effect by going into Meow Meow Moo. So let's go ahead and try this combo once again, hopefully with no Maxx C to interrupt us. And so far it's going really well. So now we can go ahead and get into the Dodo Dodo. I'm going to use the power of Fansies to go ahead and send a card to the grave and use Dodo Dodo to go ahead and activate its effect. We get a Dropsies into a graveyard, summon out another Dropsies, and then we're going to get the Prank Kids Pranks. Now I know for sure that I'm not going to be using the Nibiru too much against this deck. I decided to go ahead and use the power of this, and they end up scooping. So it is what it is. Oh man. But anyways, guys, yep, on to the next one. All right, so on this one we are going to be going second, and unfortunately going second for us really does suck, especially for Prank Kids. But we do have a Psy-Frame Gamma in our hand, and they are playing Diviner first, which can only mean one thing, that this Drytron player bricked hard. So we're able to go ahead and use the Psy-Frame Gamma, and then we are able to go ahead and summon out our Prank Kids Fansies. From going Fansies, we're going to immediately go into our Meow Meow Moo, and from Meow Meow Moo, we're going to activate Fansies ability, get rid of the Dropsies, and then summon out our Rocksies. Now with Rocksies, I'm going to go into Dodo Dodo Do, get rid of the Rocksies in our hand by banishing it, which is going to allow us to draw one card. And then we're going to use Dodo Dodo Do, which is going to allow us to go ahead and grab a spell card from our deck, which is going to be the Prank Kids Pandemonium. And now this is what makes Nemesis so good. So the reason I decided to go ahead and bring back the Psy-Frame Driver is for one thing and one reason only. By bringing back Nemesis, right, Psy-Frame Driver, we can go ahead and immediately use our Psy-Frame Gamma in case we grab it again, right? So at least it's not going to be a dead draw. But unfortunately, we do get hit with Nibiru. But if we didn't, we could have went into a Thunder Dragon Colossus. So he does summon out the Nibiru. We get a token. I'm gonna now use Pandemonium to go ahead and make the Prank Kids rocket ride. And honestly, the combos were gonna keep continuing because this person was just literally about to scoop in just about a second. I use rocket ride to go ahead and lower, and they just go ahead and scoop, as I guess they bricked so hard they didn't feel like doing what we could have went into, because we could have still made some more plays. But anyways, let's get into the next one. Okay, so we are now on round 2, and honestly this hand isn't looking as good as I would like it to look, but it is okay because we can start off with our Rocksies. By summoning Rocksies and then linking it into Meow Meow Moo, we have to go ahead and banish one card. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of Celestial. And I know what you're thinking, like, what, yo, how are you gonna go into DPE now, right? So by going into Meow Meow Moo and then summon out the Fansies, I could go ahead and toss one card to the graveyard and then use Dodo Doodle to go ahead and chain block it, which is gonna allow us to go ahead and get ourselves a Prank Kid Pranks, and we can go ahead and put a Pandemonium in our grave. Now I do summon out the Dropsies. I activate the Prank Kid Pranks ability. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our Dodo Doodle to go ahead and get ourselves a Fansies back and our Pandemonium, which is going to allow us to now use Prank Kid's Pranks ability to put a Prank Kid's token to go into the Bow Wow Bark. And now from Bow Wow Bark, Dropsies ability does activate, so I summon out a Lampsies. And now I'm going to use Nemesis Corridor to go ahead and put back the Destiny Hero Celestial. So if we ever need to go in DPE, we still can. And then from there, because this card was activated from our hand and it's a thunder effect, we can then go into Thunder Dragon Colossus, which is pretty good. And then we're gonna go ahead and place one card face down, bringing the Skill Drain and the Pandemonium. So we do end our turn. We now, if you look at our hand, we have everything set up to go ahead and summon out Battle Boxer, because we did get the Prank Kids Dropsy, and then we also have the Lampsies and the Fansies in the hand. So now it is their turn, and so far they are playing Pranks. So if you didn't know, Prank Kids Z-Amin can go ahead and activate its effect to go ahead and add one Prank Kid. They are playing Punks to go ahead and add one Punk monster from their deck to the hand. But guess what? Thunder Dragon Colossus literally stops them from adding a card unless it's by a draw. So therefore, I know they can't do anything, so I decided to go ahead and use our Pandemonium to summon out Battle Boxer. We're gonna put it underneath the Bow Wow Bark, because the Bow Wow Bark will immediately, if it's co-linked to it, can give it 1,000 attack points increase. So then I can go ahead and activate all 3 of my Prank Kids cards in the graveyard. And if I remember correctly, they literally just scoop, yep, like they did right there. Because literally they couldn't do anything. If they literally can't add anything to their hand. If they had emergency teleport, they could go ahead and summon out something, but then I would just destroy it with the Prank Kids Battle Butler and then remove my Meow Meow Moo. And by doing that, what is going to happen is that my Battle Butler will stay on the field. And remember, we still had the Bow Wow Bark, and if I got rid of Bow Wow Bark, none of my Prank Kid monsters could be destroyed by card effects. So on to the next one. Alright, so we are now in duel number 3, and our hand is looking actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with our Dropsies, summon out the Meow Meow Moo. And to be honest, I started with Fansies. For some reason I didn't, and so it does mess up a little things here, because I could have got the Pandemonium into the graveyard, but it's a-okay because I'm gonna activate Rocksies ability to go ahead and discard one card to the banish, and then we could draw a card. And then either way, we did get hit with the imperm anyway, so it didn't even matter. So we can't draw a spell card from our deck, but we can do this. We can go into a Verte Anaconda, and then from Verte, we're gonna just go ahead and get out a DPE, because why not, right? I mean, you want to go ahead and stop my other play so bad. It just is what it is. And we do have a Maxx C in our hand, which is pretty nice to have, I ain't gonna lie. So anyways, we noticed that, guess what? We are playing against the incredible Ecclesia, which is going to be only 2 things, Sword Soul or Despia, right? And we're just gonna assume we're in Diamond Ring, so it's most likely Sword Soul, which it happens to be. Now, I should have waited to use Maxx C's ability as soon as he used Ecclesia, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, he's gonna use a Moye to go ahead and get a token onto the field. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that token, From there, they're going to activate Source or Emergence, but thanks to the power of Maxx C, we were able to draw into an Ash, which is going to stop the Emergence. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, we stopped everything we could, but nope, they had another plan, which was to go ahead and get the Long Yuan out on the field, and then they went into Draco, Berserker, Tenyi. Now, I was a little skeptical about this, to be honest, but then I started thinking, like, maybe they only did this because of the fact that, like, I already activated DPE's ability, so once he goes to the graveyard, he could go ahead and activate the power of that again to banish it, right? That was my only thought process, to be honest. So anyways, they summon out another Ecclesia. They go ahead and attack me. I'm going to activate DPE's ability, but for some reason, he decided to go ahead and activate this effect to go ahead and increase its attack and then make a second attack, right? Now here's where the weird part comes in, guys. I'm thinking we should have lost here, right? He doesn't attack. I think he doesn't know how this card works, because this should have been GG's, like, but doesn't activate it. So anyways, it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Call by the Grave as it's our turn, and I'm just gonna go ahead and banish off the Moye. From there, I'm going to actually go ahead and get our Prank Kids placed onto the field, but because the Vanity's Emptiness, we can't go ahead and summon out our DPE, so our DPE is just gone. So then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and crash. By crashing into him, I'm going to now activate the power of Pandemonium. Pandemonium, we're gonna go ahead and summon out Battle Butler. From Battle Butler, we're gonna be able to activate all our Prank Kids ability that's in the grave, which is just super awesome. So Fansies, Dropsies, and a little Lampsies. So look at this, all of these effects is activating, and just the cherry on top, we're gonna go ahead and summon the Fansies, then go ahead and summon out a Lampsies, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the Pandemonium into the grave, and then summon out the Dropsies. Now I can activate Celestial's ability, banish 2 cards. I decided to go ahead and banish the DPE just because at least with the Dasher in the grave, we could go ahead and activate this effect if we get a monster. So now I activate Prank Kids Place, use Prank Kids Place to get a token onto the field. I'm now going to activate Battle Butler's ability to tribute it and wipe his board. Now we have the Meow Meow Moo onto the field. From there, we're going to go into the Dodo Doodle, and then from Dodo, we're going to activate its effect to grab ourselves a Prank Kids Place. Use Dodo to go ahead and sacrifice it to the grave to go ahead and grab ourselves a Dropsies and a Pandemonium. So once again, we're going to go into Bow Wow Bark. From Bow Wow Bark, we're going to just end our turn. And the reason that we ended our turn because we had already crashed, so we couldn't attack anymore. So now they're going to go ahead and draw, and I believe they just end up scooping, as we were just going to go ahead and use Bow Wow Bark's ability, sacrifice it, get 2 of our Prank Kids back into our hand, activate Pandemonium, and then bang, we would have a unkillable machine by card effects. And on top of that, we would have a Raigeki on the side as a quick effect to go ahead and destroy whatever it is that they could have got onto the field, right? So honestly, that's his fault for not attacking. That's completely on Tom. Okay, so right now we are going to be going second once again, and as you can see, it's a trend with us going second, but it is what it is. We're gonna activate Maxx C, and honestly, I thought about it. Maxx C was probably a really stupid play to activate here, because if you're banishing 6 cards out of your extra deck without any thought, it could only mean one thing, right? It's got to be Elderic. I mean, what else would it be? Anyways, we do get a Fansies. We're gonna go into Meow Meow Moo, activate Fansies ability, hit the Pandemonium into the grave, summon out the Lampsies. Now we can go ahead and go into our Dodo Doodle, and then from Dodo, we're gonna activate Lampsies ability. From here, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a nice looking Dropsies onto the field. Now with Dropsies, we get ourselves a prank thanks to the power of draw, and then we're gonna go ahead and get us a Prank Kids Place as well. We're gonna grab ourselves a Rocksies. Now we can activate Prank Kids Pranks and then activate Dodo Doodle. I'm going to grab the Pandemonium, and we're also going ahead to grab the I believe we grabbed the Fansies, but unfortunately, like I thought, we were playing Elderic, and so they're gonna banish. I believe they end up banishing the the Pandemonium, which does suck because we only play two, and we only play two basically fusion cards since we stopped playing polymerization. Unless actually Thunder Dragon Fusion's also played as well, so never mind, we played 3. Anyways, from there I decided to go into Bow Wow Bark. From Bow Wow Bark, I'm going to activate Prank Kid's Place ability, which is going to go ahead and lower their attack by 500 thanks to the power of our field spell. Then from there I'm going to go into Verte and Akonda. We're going to activate Verte's ability, toss out the we're going to toss out the Fusion Destiny to get ourselves a DPE onto the field. Now I'm going to go ahead and attack, and then I'm just going to go ahead and play 1 card face down, and then we're going to activate Prank's Pranks to go ahead and put 3 cards back into our deck, and we get to draw a card out of that, which we draw into an Ash. So they are going to play another Pot of Extravagance. Like I said, they don't care about their extra deck, bro. So we're just going to go ahead and Ash that, just because I do not want them drawing 1 card for every 3 cards, which would have been an extra 1. But apparently we were baited, as they activate now the Pot of Prosperity, which is going to allow them to go ahead and look at a few cards, and guess what? They get the Lava Golem. So by getting Lava Golem, I immediately saw that and turned my activation on. Go ahead and pop the DP's ability, and by doing that, I get rid of the power of them being able to hit us with a Lava Golem summon, which is going to be huge for us, right? So now they're going to go ahead and use this to summon out the Eldritch, and then they're going to use Curse Elderland. Honestly, I mean, I don't even know what else to say about this deck. I mean, it just does what it does, right? Like, at this point, it's just, I guess, I don't know, you want to call it brain dead? I guess we can. I mean, I hate this deck. But it is our turn, and unfortunately, we are not going to be seeing our DPE again. So goodbye, DPE. But we do get ourselves a Destiny Hero Dasher. Now, my biggest mistake with this was I put Dasher here. I should have put Dasher in this location, and you're going to see why. But anyways, we're going to use Nemesis Corridor to put our DPE back into the extra deck. Now we're going to summon out a Thunder Dragon Colossus. And this is why I should have used the power of logic to put my card in a specific placement, because our link of Verte. Now, because of that, I can't go ahead and summon off another link monster in this zone where I want it to be, but we can still go and make some plays. So I get the Dodo Dudo, and with the Dodo Dudo, we can activate its ability. We're going to activate the Dropsies as well, which is going to just allow us to do some nice things. Get ourselves a Prank Kid Place, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves the Lampsies onto the field. Now we can activate Pranks, get ourselves a token, activate the Dodo Doodle, send it to the graveyard, and we're going to get back the Dropsies and back the Pandemonium. Now I'm going to activate Pandemonium's ability, which he's going to hit us with the Golden Land forever, so it is going to get negated. Now, I know what you're thinking, what else could I possibly do in this situation? Well, you got to think about it. Verte is not only in this deck to go ahead and summon out DPE, it's also here for another reason as well. So we do get the Lampsies onto the field. Now we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a access code talker. By making access code talker, I'm going to go ahead and use Bow Wow Bark to increase it, get rid of the Meow Meow Moo, goodbye to that card. And because this is access code, they can't chain anything to this, so I'm popping every card that they have. And then from here, I'm going to use Verte's ability, use Thunder Fusion, and we're going to make ourselves a Battle Butler and just go ahead and attack for game. So as you can see, this deck is super good, super consistent. I mean, it works. It even beats off this deck without any back row removal besides for access code talker. So that was super cool. Okay, and this is going to be our last duel, and honestly, this is probably the worst duel that I can show you guys. But we are going to activate Maxx C, and then they're going to hit us with an Ash Blossom. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that, especially because it's Virtual World. But on the positive note, I believe that this deck ended up bricking, and I think that's the biggest problem with Virtual World, guys, is that it bricks constantly. And on top of that, like, I just feel like this person didn't really know what they were doing for the most part. Like, they were doing plays, but like, it wasn't the smartest plays. And so because I play Virtual World enough to know what it does, I stopped the King Long with our own Ash Blossom, And I made sure to turn off activations off just so I could make it seem like I didn't have anything else in my hand as such as Ash. But they are going to go into the Fan, and then from Fan, this is where I said, guys, I really did misplay because I was not paying attention. This is what happens when you are watching Teen Titans, and I'm not talking about regular Teen Titans, just Teen Titans Go. It's just super funny. But anyways, we summon out the Meow Meow Moo. We get the Fansies into the grave, activate Prank Kid's place. We're going to go ahead and decrease its attack by 500. Then we're going to toss out the Lampsies, summon out the Rocksies. From Rocksies, we're going to go into Dodo Doodle Doo. And then from there, we can activate Dodo Doodle Doo's ability, activate Roxy's ability. I'm going to get rid of one card in our hand, which is going to be our Maxx C. Because at that point, I was like, I really don't need Maxx C anymore because this game is basically over. But your boy did not pay attention, and you're about to see how. I meant to go ahead and grab ourselves the Fansies so we could summon out Battle Butler, but I ended up grabbing the Rocksies and the god dang Lampsies, which is what we didn't need. So now, because we couldn't grab what I needed, I can't go into that. So I activate Pandemonium, and then I honestly forgot Pandemonium's ability that I cannot normal or special summon monsters except for Prank Kid monsters. So Fusion Destiny in my hand is basically useless after summoning out Rocket Ride. And I'm telling you guys, I just keep messing up from here. Oh man, next time I need to pay attention, guys. Do not watch anything funny, I'm telling you. But anyways, we're gonna use to go ahead and summon out the Bow Wow Bark, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and end our turn. Now, if you're wondering why it didn't attack with the Dodo Doodle, is because the power of Rocket Ride. When I actually summon cards based off of Rocket Ride's ability, they cannot attack this turn. So unfortunately, I could not do that. So the best play I had was to just go ahead and play the Call by the Grave face down. But fortunately, this person actually bricked as well. So I'm gonna activate Bow Wow Bark's ability because I know that Fan can go ahead and basically banish cards. So I want to go and make sure that Pandemonium and Prank Kid's Fansies could at least be on my field. I mean, in my hand. And then on top of that, they're going to go ahead and activate their card right here. And then they're going to use Virtual World to go ahead and destroy my card using Chuche. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point, right? But they do get 2 cards into the grave. They summon out the Lulu. And then they're going to also use Odo Hime to hit the graveyard. Now I know for sure that they can't really do anything, because if this is their follow-up play, I know that they need the Nien. So I'm going to activate the Call by the Grave, the banish the Nien. Nien's ability cannot activate anymore, which is super good. So both of these cards is negated. Now he's forced to just go into Gaia the Dragon Thunder, which I was a little confused about because I thought he would go into Zeus, but he doesn't end up going into Zeus. I don't know. So with no Zeus play here, which I thought would have been the smart play, he's just gonna go ahead and use Chuche at our start. Once again, another weird play to get rid of our field spell, as if our field spell was the thing causing a lot of issues for them, but it wasn't. So we get off a free DPE. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and attack. I destroy his Gaia. Then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and actually get rid of Chuche, as I do not need Chuche to be annoying. And then from there, I'm gonna activate Prank Kid's Pranks, and then put the Pandemonium face down. Send 3 cards back into the deck, and then from there, we actually end up drawing into our Dropsies, which is perfect for us because now we get our DPE onto the field, and then from DPE we get a Pandemonium play, which is gonna end us going into Battle Boxer, as you're about to see. So they are going to activate Chuche. Chuche is going to go ahead and increase the level of his Lulu. From there, they're going to go ahead and summon out the Odo Hime. But I'm going to activate Pandemonium, then use DPE, pop the Pandemonium. The Pandemonium's effect is still going to go off, and we're going to go ahead and just destroy one of his cards. And then from there, we could go ahead and make ourselves a Battle Butler. And it's basically GG's, as they end up scooping, and they know it, that they just couldn't do anything else. There was no other follow-up plays. And this is why it was so weird that he used his Chuche to pop my field spell. I don't know what that person was doing. But anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I'm sorry the matches wasn't super long, but let's be real. Everybody just ends up quitting once you get the Battle Butler onto the field or you get a DPE. I mean, think about it. It's a Raigeki here from the Battle Butler. It's a double Raigeki, especially if it's their turn and you have yourself a nice looking Meow Meow Moo in the graveyard, and then DPE just does DPE things. But yes, thank you all. Cat Life is signing out. You have a wonderful day. See ya.